So today I want to take you on a tour of North Georgia, mostly Helen, Georgia, but there's some other things to do besides just Helen. But come along with me because you're going to see some things that maybe you didn't see, or some things to do that maybe you've never done up in North Georgia. You're entering the coolest life. So I'm going to off-center myself just a little bit because some of these pictures that I have that we'll be going through are long ways, and you know how those are. So I'm going to put them up here next to me, right here. And of course behind me, there's the American flag and the Last Supper, right there. So anyway, I want to show you some of these pictures of some of our adventures of North Georgia, and as I said before, mostly Helen. So Helen's got is a beautiful place, and there's a lot of things to see and do in Helen. There's a whole lot of different kinds of shops that you can go in. This particular one's a toy store. Toy store? Yeah, toy store. There's also a community center, which is what this is. There's lots of really nice murals you'll find around Helen.
Really don't mind the rain.
One of the things we like to do when we go to Helen is to go waterfall hopping. Not that we jump into waterfalls, but we like to go and see lots of different waterfalls. One day I think we saw 7. So and we like to get our feet wet if we can. One of the probably the more famous ones up in North Georgia is Tallulah Gorge.
So now here we are, Tallulah Gorge State Park. We're heading down to the bottom. You can see the trail that we're on. And there's a couple different trails. Some are a little more rough. You got them back in here. And this is the main one here. It takes you all around the park. One was like 1.5 miles, and it takes you about an hour, 2 hours to do. This is it's called Tallulah Falls, I guess, where we're heading to, but it's got the huge gorge. We're not going to go down to the gorge, but we're going to go to the suspension bridge and show you some pictures there.
This looks like rubber.
Yeah, it's like old tires or something they make this trail out of. Oh. But you can see parts of it.
You have to go around, don't you? Dang it.
And hear it.
I want to cut through. Do you want to cut through?
No, I don't want to cut through. Come on. Not much going on back there behind us. It's a nice little overlook. Mm-hmm.
You have your water bottle? Okay, this is good.
So here we are getting close to the suspension bridge, and you can go on down. We came up down a whole bunch of steps. To get here is 310 steps. To go up the other side, you can go up. It's another 347 to go the other side. It's another lookout up top of the hill. Suspension bridges are pretty cool. No matter how solid they try to make them, it seems like there's always a little bit of give to them. Some more than others. The lookouts are they're just magnificent.
I like moving.
Yeah, the whole thing's moving a little bit. Wish that wall wasn't quite so dark. You can really see the rock formations and everything. This is part of the gorge. There's a lot more waterfalls here, and if we continued on down, there's another landing for the bottom of the gorge that has a nice little big waterfall. at. Do you see that one? Between these cables. So nice.
So here's some real nice pictures of different waterfalls. I believe there's a university up there also near Tallulah. I guess it's called Tallulah University or something like that. There's Helton Falls, Horse Falls, Minnehaha. Lots of different waterfalls to check out. There's also a little place, a little town we found out that had a car museum, so we thought we'd go and check out the car museum a little bit. This is definitely one of my favorites. I think this is a 34 Ford. Love these cars. Probably always gravitate to them, especially when they put the mag wheels on them. But taking a break at places like that, and then also just coming back and hitting other waterfalls, it's really a lot of fun. It's amazing how different they are. Just the elevation. Some are taller than others. Some are wider than others. Some of the water's running a whole lot faster than others. And all of them you can get into for the most part, you know, swim at your own risk kind of thing. Some are just so tall. I mean, it's amazing how tall some of these are. One of the things we really like to do is float the river. And there's a couple different companies. One's called Cool Rivers Tubing, and the other one is Helen Tubing. We always go to Helen because there's an extra little set of rapids that you can't go if you're at Cool River Rapids, and they, for the most part, say 90% of them are right down the same part of the water, but there's just some differences between the two. But 90% of it is exactly the same. In fact, you're bumping into boats from the other tubing places. It's a really cool guy we like to go see when we're in Helen. We go to a little Bavarian Inn. And the Bavarian Inn, you could actually stay there like an inn, but there's a nice little pub downstairs in the inn, and this guy tends to play the accordion there quite frequently, not just through Oktoberfest, which is really when we like to go. We also got a chance to visit some relatives while we were in Helen and in North Georgia, and we went to Gold Rush Days in Dahlonega, which is really a lot of fun. They're known for having a lot of gold in that part of the country, and there was a huge gold rush at one time, but they still like that history, and there's always some street performers going on. There's also arts and crafts that happen there, which are always a lot of fun to. And I say a lot of arts and crafts. There's probably little tents like this we're standing next to. There's probably, I don't know, 200. I mean, there's a bunch. Neat little place we like to go. Or they're big on orchards, so there's a lot of apple orchards up there. And Mercier's is one, and there's a couple different apple orchards that you can actually watch them process the apples, and the apples come in. They got everything with apples, apple donuts. I mean, they just all kinds of different things to make with apples. At Tallulah Gorge, there's a really nice welcome center. You can go inside, and you can see back here behind my daughter. There's like a little museum that kind of spirals. And the staircase kind of spirals down to the bottom floor, which you go out the back, and and then you can go down to the gorge. There's one other thing that you could do in Helen, and that is go to the. It's fairly new. I think it's within the last 4 to 5 years. It's called the Alpine Slide. Essentially, it is a cable that pulls you up in an individual. It's not a sled, but it's kind of like a sled. But it's an individual roller coaster is what it is. So you've got your own little pod that you're setting in, and it pulls you up the side of this large mountain or hill, probably about maybe a mile. Yeah, probably about a mile up. It takes you up, and once you get up there, it essentially turns you loose, and you ride along this rail, and it's a whole lot of fun. I highly recommend doing that at least one time, especially if you've got some discount tickets, because it can be expensive. I think it's $16 each time you go. So for one try, it's $16, but you can get discount tickets. I think they have military discounts and different things. So always ask for the discounts. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel. I could sure use the subscribers. I think I'm almost to 40 subscribers. Isn't that just amazing? You should be one too. I hope you are. Just enjoy us here on this journey. And now you are leaving the cool spot.